What's up, StarCraft fans? Today I have a bit of good news for you. We have new mutations incoming. These were added onto the map editor data as of patch 4.5, and as you can see, I am in the map editor right now, and I have the new mutators lineup. So I'll talk about them for a bit and discuss what I think might work as a strategy as of right now. Of course, I could be wrong. uh, but I think these strategies will actually work. So, first off, we have bannable offense on mal warfare. We will have power overwhelming and invasive maneuver. So, power overwhelming is a mutator that will work on uh, large groups of units. So, hero commanders like Kerrigan and Dehaka would probably work well, and Abathur as long as his new. I think this will come out during the time of Abathur's nerf. So I think Abathur might still be able to push through with his Leviathans and Brutalisks, provided you don't run in with them. You have to chip away at the enemy, starting from one side rather than just deep tunneling into the enemy defenses. So I think Abathur might still work. Kerrigan I think will definitely work, and Nova, Alarak. As long as you don't rely too heavily on units. You will need to rely on your hero unit for this one. Next up, we have Masters of Midnight on Part and Parcel with Life Leech, Short Sight, and Fear. I think this will be a bit annoying, but Life Leech will mean that the enemy will gain more health the more damage they do to you. So I think for this one, it's part and parcel, so it'll be annoying. You need to memorize where the groups of the parts are actually located. You want to start with the parts going to your expansion, and then going on the far west of the map. So that's I think that'll give you a lot of time to find the rest of the parts. Commanders, I think anyone will still be good here. Heroes will still be good because they are less immune, or they are less likely to get fear. Short-sighted will mean that static defense commanders like Karax will not do so well because, well, part and parcel to begin with is an offensive-oriented map. I think Vorazun might do well here because her Dark Templar are melee units. I think Zagara might do well here because her Zerglings are melee units, so they don't need vision to actually attack the enemy. Maybe add some aberrations since they will protect your units. Also evasion. Evasion might work to protect your or to keep your units away from getting the fear mutator. Other than that, I think Stukov might also do well, just because he can swarm you with free units. It doesn't really matter for Stukov what kind of mutator you throw at him, as long as it's not Pupigators or Transmutation. Those are the only two commanders that are really bad for Stukov. Other than that, it's all good for Stukov. Then we have Night Drive on Cradle of Death. They're using all new maps. They're basically granting our wish. Use new maps for the mutation and add new These are not new mutators themselves, but they're new combinations of mutators, which I think it's good. It's good that they're using them. Night Drive on Cradle of Death. We will have Afraid of the Dark. This one was used on the Halloween mutator, if you remember. It's a combination of short-sighted and darkness. That means you need to focus. You need to have your camera centered on a spot on the map to get vision on it. But buildings like command centers will also, or yeah, buildings like command centers, hives, hatcheries, lairs, and nexus will also provide vision. Uh, Magnificent might be annoying. Actually, this one might seem a bit tricky, since you need vision to be able to trigger. I think commanders like Stukov and Zagar will be good here because they can trigger the mag mines. Also, Kerrigan with their Omega Worms, Kerrigan with their Omega Worms should be able to trigger the mag mines somewhat effectively. But you're in a race. You're in a race against time here. You'll probably not be able to go after the bonus objectives, and I do recommend that You always send groups of small groups of army forward just to trigger the mag mines. I think if you like playing Protoss here, Artanis and Carax can make phoenixes that can zoom past the enemy defenses very fast. Oracles might also work here. Uh, Zerglings might work to trigger the mag mines, but and then the rest of the map you'll need to move your army while having the map centered on them. Otherwise, maybe support with buildings and stuff, just so you can push forward. But building pushes are not recommended on Cradle of Death because the objective areas will have explosions that will detonate and kill off your buildings. So yeah, not advisable entirely. So get out more on Dead of Night. Dead of Night is one of my least favorite maps out there, just because it's one base. I like two base maps. I actually requested for three base maps, so you can imagine my surprise when we got Dead of Night. We have Eminent Domain, Mineral Shields, and Self-Destruction. Some people say that Static Defense Commanders will not be as great here. I think it's the opposite. Swan and Karax and Stukov are still great for this one because, well, to get access to their static defense, you first need to kill their static defense, and that just doesn't happen. Once you get to a good state for Swan, you just don't break his defense. I guess self-destruction could be a problem with the infested, but as long as you have enough siege tanks as Swan, you will be able to hold. Also, once again, the offense-oriented commanders will do well because they just continuously clear the map. For Vorzun, I think either Dark Templar or Void Race will work, but you need to focus more here on clearing the buildings, because if you keep killing the infested, the self-destruction might eventually take its toll. You will eventually get too much damage on your Dark Templar, and yeah, you'll run out of them. So yeah, focus on offense here. The defense is fine as long as you have Swan or Stukov, since they have siege tanks. Rainer siege tanks will also work, but you will need to get repair guys on your bunkers just so they don't fall all too quickly. Speaking of Rainer, yeah, he might not be great here. He'll need to focus on defense with siege tanks because with mineral shields, you will always need to go back to your base and shoot down the mineral shields so you can keep harvesting. Then we have quick killers on Temple of the Past, Killbots, Inspiration, Speed Freaks. This one might be annoying, but the strategy I would recommend here is the same for that mutator with the void reanimators. I can't wait. Let's scroll back to find it. Where is that Temple of the Past mutator? No, it's not Dark Ritual. No, it's not Conflagration. It should be this one. Blast from the Past. Wait, no, it's not this one either. Oopsie. Grave Danger, yeah, this one, Grave Danger. It's that one mutator where the best strategy will be to clear out all the enemy buildings as fast as possible. On Temple of the Past, it's actually easier because there are fewer enemy units. My recommended strategy for this one, and by that I mean for quick killers, is to start with the southwest base, clear all the buildings there as fast as you can with the commanders that you have, and then move on to the side bases, the northwest and the southeast. And once you clear those, you should be able to not have to deal with the kill bots. Inspiration and Speed Freaks, I mean, they provide boosts once the hybrids arrive for inspiration. Speed Freaks, you should be able to deal with. If you get into a state where you can spawn camp the enemy defenses, Speed Freak should not be a factor at all. Then we have for commanders, I think any commander will work here. Any commander really, as long as you get rid of the kill bots. Early on, commanders like Stukov will shine, but Yeah, once you clear out all the buildings, it should be even for everyone. It shouldn't matter since I think from my understanding, the killbots spawn from the buildings. Once you get rid of the buildings, the killbots will no longer be an issue. Then we have unstable environment on Scythe of Amon. We have Twister, Lava Burst, and perhaps a third mutator, but I don't think this will be here. It's it's default, but it could be a new mutator. But right now, I don't think there will be one. So it'll be just Twister and Lava Burst, because Scythe of Amon is hard enough as it is. I think these two will mostly be annoyances. So you'll have to babysit your army pretty hard. It's easy to underestimate how thick the Lava Bursts can be. So I guess commanders like Stukov and Artanis will be good here. Stukov because he can just throw forces continuously at the enemy, and he will not have to worry about having to replace them because they replace them automatically and for free. Artanis, on the other hand, provides Guardian Shell, which, as you know, is amazing at keeping your dudes alive. Vorzun's Dark Recall might be a blessing, but the revived Dark Templar will still have to walk through the map all over again. I guess Time Stop will be amazing since I think it stops the damage from the Twister as well as the Lava Burst. The the thing you have to watch out for here is when your enemies set that Twister, they will be thrown around and most likely thrown into the Lava Burst. So, yeah, hero commanders will be good here, like Kerrigan, Abathur, Dehaka, just because they have fewer units and it's easy to dance around the Lava Bursts. So can also have Karax as a static defense commander, and you can have small groups of carriers to try and maneuver around the Lava Bursts and Twisters. But for Karax, I might if I have to go for Karax, I might go for an immortal build, or immortal with heavy spear Vadun usage. So I can move around the mutators better, since carriers are quite bulky, and it might be hard to get around the lava bursts. So let's see what happens. Rest in peace on Hammerland. I can't believe they're still using void thrashing, but anyway, the mutators are propagators and moment of silence. For this one, I think Vorazun will be good just because of the time stop strategy. Vorazun will have to partner with a defense-oriented commander like Karax or Swan, and then use Dark Templar to snipe the Void Thrashers. That's really my go-to strategy for any mutator that involves Void Thrashing. Moment of Silence. This will mostly apply to the hybrids guarding the area. So as long as you go straight for the Void Thrashers, you will not need to deal with this mutator at all. I'm not sure if the propagators themselves are hero units, but if they are, static defense should take care of them. Here you might want to go for a full clear, just so we wouldn't need to deal with the propagators. Once you clear a side, you must clear all the buildings. Once you clear the Void Thrashers, clear all the buildings, so you wouldn't have to deal with the propagators anymore. Remember, they spawn from the buildings, so as long as you deal with the buildings, you will not need to deal with the propagators. Then we will have Endless Infection on Void Launch, one of my favorite maps. We will have Black Death, Alien Incubation, Walking Infested. This is basically a variation of the Conflagration, where you will have a whole bunch of units, and they will all have Black Death. Abathur will be good here, just because once you get stacks of units with 100 biomass, you will be able to push through and out-heal the plague. Swarm Hosts will be good here for Abathur. I guess also for Dehaka, but you need to make sure that your creeper hosts are out of range so that they will not get infected. Other than that, Stukov once again will be amazing here because he has free units. Vorazun will be the worst commander here. I do not recommend using Vorazun on any mutator involving Black Death, because her Dark Templar will teleport back to base when they die, and they will infect your workers and cause you to lose the game. static defense commanders like Karax, I guess, will be still pretty amazing here. Uh, if you camp the spawn points, remember to push your static defense as far forward as possible to have them to maximize their range, and they'll be able to shoot from behind if the shuttles do get past. If the shuttles are able to punch through your cannons or fly over your cannons. Battle hardened on Chain of Ascension, we will have Missile Command, Inspiration, and Hardened Will. Raynor and Stukov, I guess. Stukov, as usual, will be amazing for Missile Command because his bunkers shoot down the missiles. Nova, Raynor, and any commanders that can have or that ignore projectiles or that shoot not projectiles. What kind of damage is it? I think it's hit scan. Anyway, the commanders with anti-areas that hit instantly, like Kadar and Monolith or Karax, it will be great here because they will just shoot down the missiles. Inspiration will just buff the enemy units that come with the hybrid support waves. So if you just camp the area, the inspiration will be a non-factor. Hardened, well, this basically gives the hybrids hardened shield. So you will need to take out the escort first before fighting the hybrids. So I think a good strategy here will be to roll for ground forces, ground enemies, and then camp them with either toxic nests or spider mines, or just keep flooding them with Stukoviets. That should be fine either way. We have cold adaptation on minor evacuation with blizzard and transmutation. So Stukov, again, like I said, Stukov only has two weaknesses, either propagators or transmutation. So he will be terrible here. Also, this will probably be a one base map because blizzards have a nasty tendency to go through the expansion area. So you'll need to do this on one base. So hero commanders like Kerrigan, Abathur, Dehaka, Nova, they will do well here, but not so much commanders like Raynor. Raynor is severely screwed here because he hates both Blizzard and Transmutation. So, yeah, good luck doing this, Lila. I know you will try. You probably will, but good luck to you. Good luck to you, man. They will have the price of progress on Mal Warfare with kill. I noticed they don't have Rifts to Call here anymore. I think it's good, but it's one of the mutators. It's one of the maps that I like. So they also don't have missed opportunities. I don't think. Shame they didn't add. They didn't add that. At least they have Void Launch. So yeah, price of progress on Mal Warfare. We have killbots, microtransactions. So Stukov again will be the best here because he has free units and free micro. That's really it. Play Stukov here. I guess you can try to go for hero solo, but that'll be pretty difficult because you have the killbots. So maybe for the hero-based commanders, you can focus on producing workers to feed them, or zerglings, I guess, to feed the bots. Other than that, you really need to focus on your hero micro if you want to go for that particular strategy. Or for commanders, I guess like Raynor, Raynor is once again not gonna do so well here. He'll need to spend a lot of his money just trying to feed the kill bots. Although I did learn of one strategy in the past where Raynor can trick the kill bots into going into a secluded area. Well, they will just roam about because the kill bots know where the spider mines are. They'll try to go for them, but the spider mines are burrowed and the kill bots don't have detection. So as long as you can keep them distracted by putting down a secluded area where there are spider mines and no enemy detection, the kill bots can be drawn there, and they'll start to walk around but not actually kill the spider mines. So that could be a way to deal with them without necessarily having to feed them. Finally, we have negative reinforcement on part and parcel with Fatal Attraction and Avenger. This will be annoying, but nothing that Stukov can't handle. The hero commanders will be annoying to use here because Fatal Attraction is gonna be a pest, a nuisance. But if you have siege tanks and Stukov, should be straightforward. Swan might be good here, and Stukov, of course. But yeah, melee commanders like Zagar and Vorzun will have an annoying time because they will constantly get pulled in by Fatal Attraction. And if I remember correctly, Fatal Attraction is one of those mutators that are annoying to deal with because it keeps disabling your forces. But yeah, those 12 mutators will be added. I think not next week. Not I don't think they'll come out next week, but they will be added, or they will go live when the when the Abathur changes go live. I think it'll be synced up. So yeah, that's I think the timing of when the new mutators will hit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else you can do, please leave that in a comment. See you.